two races at the same time. ColonelFatso versus adef. The top, cassiothird versus FuzzDistor. The bottom. Looking at the title screen, you got Japanese version versus the American version, both up top and on the bottom. Which version do you guys prefer? Let's see, do you got that the fancy Mega Man in blue, or I mean, you say, are you Team Rockman or Team Mega Man? The only difference between the versions here is the title screen. Everything else is identical in the actual game, and then the text in the credits is also different. Alright, here we go! All the players chosen to go. Gutman first. The fastest routes. Let's go, let's go. Good luck to all of the runners. There are two different routes. You can go guts first or cut first. These runners are going cut first, which is the fastest route, but you will have to glitch in and grab the Mang beam early, which poses a little threat, because if you mess it up, you may soft lock. Which would be pretty much the worst thing that could happen in a race like this, but soft locks are very rare. Most people have to play a little safe, so I assume they will be fine. ColonelFatso and FuzzDistor are unfortunately struggling a little in that corner jump. It's pretty precise. It's kind of, I'd say, the most precise jump in the stage. As Gutman is a pretty straightforward stage. Features a lot of damage boosting, pausing to cancel the knockback. And at the end, you want to make sure that you have enough health to tank a possible hit stomp from the big eye. But look at all the races, they look like they have enough health. FuzzDistor may be a little on the low side. Yeah, he shows his pickup. The tiny health drop there is a good move, since he will be able to take a hit now and a hit from Cutman without dying. See, Cassio gets through without a stomp. adef got stomped, FuzzDistor got stomped, and Fatso got stomped. Alright, but health is looking good, these races. This should have no problem. Versus Cutman. Cutman's AI works in such a way that if he is far away from you, he will just keep running towards you, throw his scissor. If you get too close, he will start jumping, so you want to make sure you keep a safe distance so he does not start jumping, because then he's really hard to hit. But okay. Yeah, that was pretty good from all of the runners there. They kind of synced after Cutman. Good stuff. Runners will be heading into Elecman, which is, I would say, the hardest stage in the game to do optimally. It's just a really long stage, and oh, whoa, Cassio! The damageless no-stop strat on the second screen, wow. Impressive.
Hey, cool kid,
right.
Can you hear me?
The Elecman stage is, you're mostly going upwards. Each screen is pretty much, it's ending with a ladder climbing upwards. And yeah, it's got some tough jumps. Cassio on your bottom left is coming up to the corner jump. Gets it, no stop. Oh, call, alright. Alright, hello? You hear me call?
Yo, cool kid, can you hear me?
Alright, good. I had to reconnect. Alright, we're good now. Perfect. Alright, yeah, I could hear you.
So it seems like adef and Fatso are doing pretty well with this race here. Can you guys hear me okay? I mean, I will keep going if you guys can hear me. But it does look like Fatso and adef and Cassio are all about on the same screen, with Fuzz just trailing behind. Okay, well, awesome. Apparently, Cool Kid has left the Discord. I have moved my audio issues to him. adef seems to have had a pretty good elect climb. Fatso's is a little worse, but he is just behind them. Hey, CK, are you back?
Is my mic fine?
I can hear you fine.
All right, good, good. All right, I want to make sure that nothing was, or no noise or anything. All right, great.
God, I hope we can actually enjoy the rest of this race here.
It seems like it. I guess we're all okay now. Perfect, perfect.
So how are you doing, Cool Kid? It seems like I've missed most of the first two levels of this race.
Man, I'm doing great. I mean, this is looking. Just talking about earlier how these are, especially matchup on top. Fatso adef are very evenly matched as well. They are, as we can see right now in the race, they're basically on the same pixel. I think it's going to be a really good race.
Yeah, I think adef definitely has the Mega Man 1 experience lead, but Fatso is such an amazing Mega Man player in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so how are you doing yourself? I mean, you had a race earlier that got very intense. How do you feel?
I don't even know, man. That race is so crazy. Nis put up one heck of a fight, and I had to give everything I could give to get past it. But I mean, that it's not me racing right now. It is Fatso and adef, and it is Fuzz and Cassio.
Yep, exactly. And let's see here. Fatso and adef are still very close.
Oh my gosh, Cassio.
Oh dear.
he did make it to the refill though. That was crazy. But yeah, Fatso and adef are like identically placed right now.
Yo, FuzzDistor bringing out the double quarter sip. Wow.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Just bam. And he's got a pretty decent lead on Cassio now, who had to kind of stand on those platforms for a bit.
Yeah, based on his race with Prizzy, I did not expect this out of Fuzz, but he is playing really incredibly well. Maybe he's actually practiced a lot since his last race, and gotten a lot better. But Cassio was on 2 health going into that fight, so if he got hit by anything, he was dead.
Fireman's just so intense. Like watching 4 screens of Fireman is crazy, but adef is coming up on the final big sip, as is Fatso, just trailing not far behind at all. adef gets it. Fatso also looking like, oh, got a good sip. Man, it's still a really close race up top. Yeah, FuzzDistor is definitely he's got some great moves. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like he's picked up his game since his last race. Seems like Fatso and adef are through. Adef might be about three or 4 seconds ahead. When Cassio does make it, my stream stalled a little bit as soon as he did the zip, so I was wondering if he died or not, but he got through.
Yeah, sometimes I don't really know how it works, but sometimes when you get hit by the bullet bill, you get knocked off the magnet beam. It looked like he got hit, but he didn't get knocked off, fortunately.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, wow, still about a 3-second difference on top. Let's see, I'm gonna see here as FuzzDistor gets into bomb and see the time difference here on Cassio. Alright, it's looking like it's about 16 seconds behind. So still, wow, really close race. This is, but I don't really know what to say. I'm just enjoying this a lot. It's really close.
So both adef and Fatso went for the ladder setup for Bombman. They both got it, no subpixels, so that's good.
Yeah, it's very nice. If you choose to freeze the sniper Joe, you have a lot of beams at the end of the level, so you can just spam away. Usually fine.
So I don't know, it kind of seems to me like in the bomb and gut stages, it's kind of like the lull of the run. They're not necessarily super easy stages, but they're definitely not the hardest stages in my mind. So like while they're going, like, what do you think if you were a new runner for MM1, Cool Kid, like, and you were giving advice, like, what would you give advice for?
Oh, for bomb and guts?
Or just in general, if you were a new runner, what would you give advice?
It depends. If you wanna, I would say learn the sips in Iceman, because if you learn the sips in Iceman, you can do most of the sips in the game. But it's really tough to. I don't know. They're really tough to learn at first, but once you learn them, you can, I don't know, sort of build a very nice consistency. But I would say just learn whatever you want and have fun.
Advice from the king, my friends.
Just enjoy the game.
No, I did like your first advice though, because like I am a newer player to this game, and when I learned the game, I practiced Ice Pixel like 1,000 times, and I might have gotten it like 20 times out of that 1,000. That's pathetic. But I practiced it like 10 minutes a day, and within a week, I was getting it like 50% of the time. So I would agree with his initial advice. If you do want to start learning this game, go to Iceman and set a save state. Go to emulator, it doesn't matter. And practice that Ice Pixel, because as soon as you get that, your times are going to improve a lot, because you can use that everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But we do see adef and Fatso, I believe both got the booty grab. So I used to call it the sway grab, but once I heard Mythical call it the booty grab, I mean, that's what I'm calling it from now on.
It definitely works with me. I think that's a great name. All right. So looking at the time difference here, I think we have a time difference of about 9 seconds between adef and Fatso. Adef currently being the lead. So he's the first player to enter the Wily stages. And wow, Cassio and FuzzDistor are in the same corridor, getting beat up by the Mets as they attempt the corridor sips, but they are very close right now.
Yeah, this is crazy. We have two incredibly close races. Did you talk about at all, Cool Kid, about how close like Fatso and adef were on PBs or anything?
Yeah, I went through it a little, and yeah, there's about a just 30-second difference between Fatso and adef on the PBs. So not very surprising to see this kind of close race, I suppose, but it's really cool.
Yeah, and
Oh.
the implications. Oh gosh, as adef barely gets across there. The implications of the group are actually pretty crazy. Like depending. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Fatso dies on the last spike. Like he was 1 or 2 pixels away from making that.
Oh, that is so very unfortunate, as you said, on the very final spike.
Luckily for him, though, it is a very, very close respawn there.
Wow, FuzzDistor certainly has practice. Wily one sip. Cassio does not get it, so FuzzDistor gets a little bit of a lead.
As I was about to say, as adef finishes Wily 1, finishes Yellow Devil off with the vertical attack, Fatso and adef actually have a very important race, because depending on who wins, if Fatso wins, or rather just if Fatso wins, it would go down to, I believe, their best PB for a race as to who would go on between adef, Fatso, and Ainea. Because if Fatso wins, all 3 of them would be 2-1. It does look, at least on my screen, it looks like Fuzz is having a heck of a time killing those little guys with the elect beam. Oh, there he goes. He is on Yellow Devil now.
Yes, oh, ace. Oh! Okay, he gets the 1 cycle, just barely though. Cassio getting going for the swag line devil kill and gets it. Makes up good time, and they're about even now. Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're only like 3 seconds behind or so. That's crazy.
So going to Wily to a stage that is a long stage. Does not have a whole many checkpoints, so death here is very costly. Well, depends on where you die, of course, but
Let's see if Fatso tries to go for the zip, and nope, Fatso's going to go the safe route here. But Cassio and Fuzz are so unbelievably close. So, Cool Kid, talk to me. How would you feel if you had to do all 3 of your matches in one day? Would you be bothered by that at all? Because that is what adef is doing today. He has already had 2 of his races today.
I think I would have preferred to kind of cool down between races. But I would say I think I would prefer to do it on separate days, because I like to like kind of take my time. It makes, you know. But adef is this is a third match, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He already beat Ainea and Von Rufio today.
Got it. And he just had a great Wily 3 and it's got a pretty decent lead too. That would be something he just did all his races in one day and just won all of them. What a definitely kind of a madman, but it seems to be working out great for him as he is. He's got a good lead. He's bustering down the first 3 bubbles, and then he will switch to G.
Yeah, I feel like that's actually what he's learned today, is he can't depend on it, possibly. And he thought, you know what, my best strategy is, let's buster him down because I'm not going to lose a lot of time, and then just get the free win.
It's always kind of interesting to think about, like, if adef keeps up? Oh, Fatso gets
the third.
Very nice fight. It's also very interesting to consider if the adef is aware of how far ahead he is or not. But he is. I'd say I'll be at least 20 seconds ahead. in Wily 4.
It's actually interesting. Both Fuzz and Cassio got hit when they were trying to do the Wily 3 zip, but they both ended up recovering well as adef gets the boss refight skip.
I wonder if Cassio will attempt dupes. He's very low in health, so if he fails the dupe, he might be in have a bad time, as it's nearly impossible to not take damage if you have to buster down the final bubbles.
Well, there's one. There's two. Still at 2.
Oh. Ooh, right.
It looks like he gets it, yeah.
adef is about to finish the game with a really solid time, actually.
Yeah, 20-28.
Wow, that is just 30 seconds away from his PB. Wow. Fatso finishes official SRL time of 20:47. Also, that's not far off his PB either. Wow. And he died in Wily 1 as well. Really good run. We have a very tight race at the bottom. FuzzDistor unfortunately having a bit of a struggle with the first zipper, and Cassio having a good stage. Gets the refight skip too, and he is just flying through Wily 4.
This is impressive by FuzzDistor. I feel like this is going to be a really big PB for him as long as as far as the race PBs are concerned.
Oh, was unfortunately too low when that bomb exploded. Oh, bomb man! What a jerk! Did a long hop. And he unfortunately does not have enough health to retry the skip, and he will have to take a death and retry with full health. Cassio, in the meanwhile, is done. Finishes with an official SRL time of 21:54, and he'll be your winner in the bottom race. We're doing 2 separate races here: ColonelFatso versus adef. adef won the first game. Cassio won the first game in the bottom matchup. Do you recall what FuzzDistor's race PB was?
I do not.
Actually, I think I can check.
His PB in general seems to be a 24-24 though.
Right, wow, great. He finishes with an official SRL time of 22:56. But RaceBot is not saying that that was his race PB, so who knows? He might have done some races on the side. Either way, he actually had a really nice run. It was a really even race up until the start of Wily 4, where he unfortunately fell behind. But he had some very impressive sips. The Wily 1, corridor sips, double corridor sips.
Yeah, he definitely did much better than I thought. At least he had done against the race with Prizzy that I had seen. So I'm really impressed with Fuzz. But yeah, I mean, how did that go? How do you think that went, Cool Kid? Like, as far as the 2 races, what do you think would happen, and then what did happen?
I think the first one, the top race was almost as promised. It was a really, really good race. ColonelFatso unfortunately took that death in the worst room in the game. Moving platform, spike ceiling, spike floor. it's really just a overall terrible room. It was really good. And Cassio, I mean, Cassio had some really nice moves too. What was Cassio's time? He had a 2154. Okay. Nah, but as you say, it's really cool. I really enjoyed seeing FuzzDistor's run. As you said, he apparently has, you know, put in a lot of, practiced a lot, just been improving a lot. I think that's really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, his Mega Man leaderboard's time is a 24:24, and we see with the 22:54, he has a red split, so that is not his PB. So he has definitely been hiding a time from us, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what he can do in Race 2.
So I'm just wondering, you being a fairly recent runner to this game, do you have a certain way you practice this game, or let's say, how do you practice? Let's say you improve a speed game, Mega Man 1 in this case. How do you go on about in practice? Do you mainly focus on just doing runs, or do you like doing save state practice?
I feel like if you want to be as good of a runner as possible, I feel like you would do 90% save state practice and 10% runs. Myself, however, I get bored with games really, really easily. And like I was starting to feel it with Mega Man 1 this week, but I personally I barely practice at all because I hate practice. But I just love doing runs, and whatever happens, happens. But I think if you actually want to be a good speedrunner, you need to be doing save state practice 90% of the time. Until you're really good, then you can do runs.
And just mostly runs, hope everything falls together for the D run.
I mean, that's what I do. It barely worked against NIS today, but I don't know. That's my strategy.
Well, it got you through the group play, won all your games, so it's so far a successful strategy. But I would agree, like especially just with just setting up the sips, like in Iceman, that is just something you have to save state over and over again until it works, until you got it somewhat consistently. Because until then, you're really gonna have like kind of struggle.
Yeah.
So you kind of struggle to get runs going until you're consistent at that magnet beam placement for the sip.
I will say, like I said, when I did start, I probably practiced the ice beam for like an hour, and in that hour, I might have gotten it 10 times. It was incredibly embarrassing. But then every day, I took 10 minutes that I would practice the ice beam before I would go on stream. Because pretty much when I stream, that's when I'm playing video games. I don't have any other time to play. But I would go for 10 minutes before I go online because I was embarrassed because I couldn't hit the ice beam, the ice pixel. But after about a week, I went from getting it like 1% of the time to 20% of the time. And so I started doing it on stream. And then after another week or so, I could get it like 50 to 60 to 70%. And now it's like almost automatic, and it's good. But that is one thing I would say you need to practice is that ice beam.
Yeah, one thing that I would say kind of is the biggest thing in the game almost. I would say the hardest stage in the game, interestingly enough, that I think is the hardest stage is, I would say, is Elkman, and that's a stage that doesn't really have any sips. Like, what do you think about? Just curious, like, kind of asking you as a newer runner, like, what? I don't know. What's your approach to Elkman stage? I'm just curious.
It's pretty much just to hold my head in my hands and cry.
No, it cannot be that bad, right? It's a fun level.
No, I will say it is really fun, but like when I watch someone like you or Andy or Dexter or Streamline do it, and you're getting like very close to a 5-minute time out of Elec, and I will do what I think is like a perfect cut in Elec, and I'll have like a 5:13. I think my best time ever out of Elec at the high note was 5:13, and like I look at what you guys do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like 10 seconds better than me. Like it really shows that even though the level is you don't have zips, you don't have any of that stuff, but it is so technically challenging that the best people who have mastered their movement are still so much better than everyone else. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
So I mean, I guess in conclusion, yeah, it's, to me, I feel like Elec is the hardest level, and I think a lot of people wouldn't think that because you are just climbing.
Yeah, I would say that is, besides like learning the ice pixel. That should be one of the stages where you spend the most time on, just because it's such a long stage, and there's just so much time you can lose and gain on Elec. And then especially on the magnet beam screen, it's really hard to get a fast grab. That is just a lot of time in Elec, man.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with all of that. And it looks like we are getting started very shortly with race number 2. Once again, just to remind you guys, we do have adef winning the first game over ColonelFatso, and we do have Cassio winning the first game over FuzzDistor. So predictions, Cool Kid. Who do you think's gonna win game 2?
No, adef. I mean, adef certainly gotten some warm up doing all of his matches today, and his first run was within 30 seconds of his PB. I think he's gonna keep on trucking, and that even though adef and Fatso were really close throughout the entire race up until pretty much Wiley won, I think adef's got that experience and he's warmed up, so I think it'll be a close one, but I think he'll take game 2. And then between Cassio and FuzzDistor, I'm leaning towards FuzzDistor. I think he had some great moves, and I think if he can put it all together and get a win.
Okay, no, those are bold. I of course, I believe until that damage boost right there, ColonelFatso had about a 1/100th of a second lead on adef, and so I think he's got this one in the bag. So ColonelFatso is gonna tie it up 1-1 with adef.
Yeah, that I'm hoping for. I mean, it's always. I mean, I gotta say, this game is amazing. It's an amazing speed game, and I love that this game is being featured on Speed Gaming's tournament. It's really cool. Some more games is, I mean, sure.
No, I completely agree. But I will always root for whoever lost game 1. So I'm rooting for, and I'm picking Fatso and Fuzz to even it up at 1-1. Because if I could wish for anything for Christmas, it would be game 3 right here.
I like that. That's a good wish. But as they head into the corridor, Fatso is on alarmingly low health. Oh, he gets a pickup there, but that's still not enough. Oh, he gets another one. Never mind.
Yeah, so he can take 1 deboost now.
All right, he should be fine. All right, perfect.
Well, it does look like Fuzz might have 8 health, and so I think he can only take 1 as well.
adef doing a kind of having a different fight here, a jumpy cut man. And they are very even. Fatso and adef pretty much identical there.
I was gonna say, even with the jumpiness, it was not that bad of a fight. I'm sure you disagree, but I feel like it wasn't that bad.
Nah, it was fine. He didn't even get hit, so that was actually impressive. Impressive fight by adef. Cutman got out of control, but it didn't take a single hit on the fight.
Yeah, I mean, you really said it. Like, Electman is such a difficult. Let me ask you. So, I think I see you now. You don't do drop shots on these screens, right? You just hit 2 shots really quick and keep walking, or climbing.
I shoot 2 and then drop.
So the second one you do a drop shot.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've always done drop, but like when I watch you or Andy play, like it seems like you just shoot, but it's just one of those little optimizations that I feel most people don't see.
Yeah. Wow. And these... Oh, actually, I think adef took a fall, so that is why his Fatso has got about a 10-second lead now.
Yep, adef did fall. The other 3 did make it, and Cassio and Fuzz are like identical right now.
Again. Wow. Here it is. Everyone on the magnet beam screen at the same time. adef had a really good grab, but now adef and Fatso are tied again. Cassio and FuzzDistor are having similar magnet beam grabs, and well, it's not a really close race.
Yeah, that was insane. Like adef evened it up incredibly well with that grab.
And we'll see what happens in the climb. A really difficult section. You have to place. You kind of have to do these drop shots. You place the beam, let go of the ladder, then regrab the ladder. Do them quickly. Look like both Fatso and adef are going for them.
Well, adef is actually going for what I'm going to deem the tired monkey strat, which is placing a beam, taking the damage boost, then doing 3 successive beams back and forth. He did that really well.
Yeah, if you do that, you don't have to worry about the kind of the drop shot off the ladder, which I would say is the hardest part about doing this. So it worked out really well for him.
Yeah, definitely. I saw him saving a couple beams, and I thought he might use them to jump over the one eye, but he didn't, and so I was confused. But that was why he did it. I feel like that was a good adaptation from his first couple races. I don't think he did that his first 2 races today.
That's very interesting. Him adapting on the same day, doing all the races on the same day, and then just adapting from race to race on the same day. That's really cool. And wow, the sync is still real. Top race. I don't know. This is just it's too cool.
It has been an unreal day in the Mega Man All Stages Tournament. There have been so many close races. I think this is just we need a great one to end us for the night. And so I do see Fatso and Fuzz winning this and forcing Game 3. You know, it's easy to see now that they are approximately 1 second apart.
Yeah, but FuzzDistor getting the Ice Pixel first try. And
Yeah.
they're about identical again. Just
Yep, that caught him up really well.
see adef will attempting quarter sips. Gets 1. FuzzDistor brought out the double quarter sips last time. It looking like both. No, wait, FuzzDistor and Cassio going forward, and we'll see. And they're tied going into the corner. Let's go.
Fuzz also with the Dexter buffer there. So I only know the Dexter buffer because I was watching Andy and he accidentally buffered the one eye, and when he jumped high.
Oh, the pause.
Yep.
Grandpa pause. Yeah. I think that pause has many different names depending on who is playing. I believe Dexter calls it something else.
Well, I assume Dexter wouldn't call it the Dexter button. To Dexter, it's of course the Endy buffer.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So I'm actually really impressed. If you saw that screen wrap from adef, he does that incredibly well.
Yeah, I just saw. I like his moves.
Like that's a really, really nice jump pixel. I don't know. That's not the ice height, is it?
I actually don't know. It's I couldn't tell, but it was quick and nice and didn't use many beams. So it was good.
Yeah, he seems to be able to do that incredibly consistently, and that's a really good setup.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of where I mean, with his PV being 1958, that's kind of where I don't know. You need, I don't know. He's got really good consistency. I'm actually very impressed. Because if I do remember, his PB is from. Let's see here. His PB is actually from. Okay,
about
not
a
too
year
far
ago.
Yeah. So he's still got. I don't know. A really good player.
Yeah, I mean, I think he hasn't played much either recently, and so I think he's de-rusted really well. Yeah, he is probably about 10 seconds ahead of Fatso now. And Cassio is also probably about 10 seconds ahead of Fuzz.
But yeah, coming into Bombman and Gutsman, I would agree that these two stages are, while they, I mean, they're not exactly easy speedrun stages. They definitely are easier than the previous four. So, Bombman stage is mostly just walking, freezing the Sniper Joe, and then the big sip at the end. So I'll probably say that this is, apart from Cutman stage, this is probably the kind of most basic stage in the game, at least when it comes to the Robot Masters. But you may get trolled on ladders setup. adef did not get trolled, so he had a quick setup. Sometimes, depending on kind of what the game wants, when you place a Magnet Beam, it kind of seems random. I don't really know how it works, if it's random or, depending on the subpixels, but the beam does not appear at the same position every time when you release it, like horizontal position. So that's why Fatso just spammed a lot of beams when he set up to sip. Cassio, though, attempting a ladderless. Oh, that looks good.
Oh, he had it. He just couldn't get the last beam there.
Yeah, very unfortunate. FuzzDistor attempting the ladderless setup too. Oh, does unfortunately not get it. Ooh!
He does grab the ladder before hitting the spikes, though. A reminder, in Mega Man 1, you do not have iframe invulnerability with spikes. If you hit the spikes, no matter what, you are dead. adef continuing just really solid play. As Fatso falls down and has the emergency jump off of the last moving platform.
I just really like the very first section of Gutsman's level. There's so many different ways to play it. The platforms and the Magnet Beam.
Yeah, it seems like it's also very, very difficult to get that first zip. Seems like it's not very consistent, no matter what setup you do.
Yeah, that's why I mean we kind of call it the hardest zip in the game because it's really hard to set up. And this being a game that already has many difficult zips, well, it's kind of tells a lot. We did get the booty grab on adef. Good job, adef.
Yeah, but
Fatso coming into the fight.
Unfortunately, at the exact same time, Fuzz did not quite make the gap there, and so he did die. So he's going to have to redo this.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. No checkpoint. In Cassio at the very end of the level.
But I mean, it's not over. The Wily stages are very difficult and very demanding, and so Fuzz can definitely come back here.
Definitely. Cassio with a very interesting way to enter the boss fight. And Gutsman kind of jumps over his bomb. Funny timing.
Did he take damage as he went through, so he got put down by the bombs or by the blocks?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like that probably wasn't intended by him.
Either way, the boss is down and he is heading into the Wily stages. Alright, yeah, adef.
So does not get trolled by the platforms.
Yeah, that was much better than last race. Both adef and Fatso had really rough rooms last race. Oh, Fatso getting very close to the spike ceiling though. Good stuff though. That was a good high grab.
Yeah, Fatso getting really high on that ladder grab. Using a lot of beam to get through there though, at next screen. So is there an advantage to the horizontal versus the vertical beam on Wily 1 Yellow Devil?
I don't really think there is one. I would say the exception is if you attempt to do the
swag line.
Yeah, the streamline Yellow Devil kill, because I think you can kind of cover a bit larger area with your shots. But other than that, if you just go for the standard pause kill, I don't think there's a benefit doing a horizontal shot.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it definitely, I think it looks cooler doing the vertical one, but I've honestly never even tried the vertical one.
Yeah, I'm just too. I mean, I barely even tried the vertical one because I've done the horizontal one for years. It's kind of hard to break old habits like that. All right. Okay. Interestingly, see, Cassio only has one beam. So, FuzzDistor unfortunately dropped onto the spikes there. Wily is invincible, but MM1 does not care, and you die.
But we do need to remember that both of his deaths have been with pretty short respawn checkpoints, and so he is, while behind, not out of it, especially because Cassio did get the second phase on the Yellow Devil.
Oh yeah, definitely not over. Looking like adef has about a 20-second lead on Fatso right now. So again, all the dupes, the refight skip and all, it's definitely not over. I would say the kind of like the later game stages in this game they don't have that many sips, but the sips they do have are big, and if you don't get them, you're gonna lose a lot of time. Kind of the big tricks near the end.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, Cassio took a def. That was after the Cutman refight. FuzzDistor now in the lead, actually, because he didn't get a checkpoint there. Wow. Lead change on...
Yeah, Wily 2 has the worst checkpoint, I think, in the game. You have to get almost to the end of the level before you reach a checkpoint.
Yeah, that is... I mean, one of the... Might have been just the costliest def in the game. FuzzDistor now with... say about at least like a 10-second lead on Cassio now.
Both Fatso and adef getting the Wily 3 zipped, or at least Fatso got the first half. Adef got the whole thing.
Fatso has beams. Oh, has one left. He will have to go for the walk of shame and save that one beam for Wily 4. Unfortunately, this will cost him at least 20 seconds having to run here.
Yeah, that is actually one of the reasons I think, at least for the tournament, I feel the third screen setup is much more safer than the first screen setup.
Definitely.
I mean, I know I'm talking to you, cool kid, so that
No,
you disagree. You're like, nah, the first screen setup is perfectly safe. You just jump to the second screen and get the pixel.
I did not disagree at all. It's a very good strat.
Yeah, I think Princess Proto posted a video or a strat of something for like the perfect third screen setup, and like I've copied it and I've never failed it since then. And so I don't care if I lose the 2 or 3 seconds it saves. Like I'm that peace of mind that I'm gonna get it is good enough for me.
Fatso finishing off with a perfect fight. adef He's got a big lead though. He does the bomb refight skip and gets it, and adef actually having another really good run. It's looking to be about similar to his first race. Wow.
Yeah, his Wily 4 was really good.
And wow, see the bottom race is gonna become very interesting here. Both racers entering Wily 3 at the same time. Oh dear.
You never know. adef is not quite through yet. You don't know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
We have had deaths on Wily. But this will not be one of them. It looks like his SRL time is going to be a 2026, which is a race PB for him, which means out of his 7 games today, that is his best.
GG adef finishing well, that's what do you say? That's a really, really strong finish.
That is, I mean, that's a 2026 is an amazing time in this tournament. That's easily putting him in about the top 7 or 8 people, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wow, we actually have a really interesting race unfold at the bottom. Both racers did not get the sip, and well, wow.
Yeah, we got some double marathon runners who just like to run it out.
It's gonna come down to the dupes.
And Fuzz, ooh, he does get a quick dupe there in the third one, but he was hurting before that one. Gets the second. Ah. And Cassio gets none, and so Fuzz has the advantage. We could be going to a game 3 here.
Right, but Fatso, in the meantime, finishes his run, official SRL time of 21:31. So GG Fatso. FuzzDistor has to take a... No, we actually got a 1-up. He has to take another death. This is going to be very close now. Cassio will be in the lead, but Cassio, remember, he does not have any beams at all. He ran out of beams.
Oh, so he's got to do the double block.
Yep, and FuzzDistor coming fresh off a game over. He'll have full ammo.
So I do feel this double block, if you have not practiced it, is one of the most intimidating things in the game. And I feel like Cassio forgot he had 0 beams. He tried to switch to it.
Yeah, it requires a kind of particular setup that is very unlikely that you'll get just without knowing what to do. But FuzzDistor having the full beam ammo, just just flying through the stage on Bombman now. Good mash, and he is.
Oh my gosh, he gets it! This is wow. We might get game 3 here. And I do think, guys, even if we do have game 3 and it's not set yet, I think we're going to grab adef really quick in between games to do a very quick interview. Because he does need to head off soon. But if Fuzz wins, we will interview him quickly in between games.
Final Wily has had a bit of a rough start, but it looks like he got this fight down, so he will vanquish Wily, achieve everlasting peace, and win the second game and bring us to third game. So FuzzDistor with an official SRL time of 23:41.
Yeah, I mean that was 2 really close races there. Fatso kind of tailed off at the end, but that was really close the whole time. We're going to pull adef in here real quick. Give us 1 sec. Yo, adef, can you hear us? It seems like you might be muted, adef.
Yo.
Hey, how's it going? How do you feel your 2 races went today? Or even your 7 races?
I started de-rusting Mega Man 1 2 days ago, knowing that I would have to do all of my races today. And I feel pretty good, honestly. Coming out of the group stages, I dropped 1 race of 7 today, so I'm coming out without losing a set. So I feel pretty good, honestly.
But so you said you started de-rusting 2 days ago. Like, how long have you played the game? Because I remember seeing your name on the leaderboards for quite a long time.
I've been playing Mega Man 1 since the summer of 2012. I remember basically back then doing SRL races. It was like myself, Nadua, sometime, and then Primal jumped in 1 or 2 times. I think I raced against you, Cool Kid, maybe once or twice. And then Dunius also, and it was like the 4 of us, and then like people like the Mexican Runner and Primal started joining in, and then the community grew from there. But yeah, I've been going for about 5 years.
Wow, so you are truly one of the OGs of Mega Man 1.
Well, not really. I mean, like Cool Kid and Dunius have been. I mean, I don't think Dunius actively runs anymore, but they've been running a lot longer. Cool Kid, I don't know if he's still in the channel here, but his 1945 was sort of like the run to beat back in 2011, 2012. Seth Glass is like the OG MM1 guy.
I think Seth's probably the OG any MM guy.
Yeah, Seth Glass is the guy.
But no, I do know Cool Kid's here. So what did you think of your 1945 run, Cool Kid?
Oh, hey, I was stoked back in the day. I remember I actually remember just being really happy with it, and I remember grabbing an apple after a run and eating the apple. Either way,
Cool Kid, that run is like the run in my eyes. My 2 favorite Mega Man 1 runs of all time are Seth Glass's 2030 and your 1945. Those are the 2 runs that I learned the game from. So I just remember that run really distinctly.
Yeah, but I mean, you did all your races today. What are any? Seemingly it worked out really well for you, adef. I would like to congratulate you on 3 wins, top seed
Thanks.
in the group. You had 2 really good runs, races, and that last Fireman stage was fire.
Yeah, the last Fireman, I mean, I hit everything, and both corridors. The second corridor zip wasn't super fast, but like I hit both of them, which is crazy. But then, I mean, I think you saw on Wily 4, I accidentally broke the middle block, and I was like, it's over. It's absolutely over. And then I somehow managed to salvage both of them, both that and the refight skip. I have literally no idea.
Nah, but I think your experience, I think it showed in the races. Like like you had really consistent play, especially in these two races. I mean, your race times are only about 2-3 seconds apart between the two races, so that was really good.
Thanks. Yeah, I think if anything, I'd say my strongest suit is like being really consistently middle tier. I just like really nail that middle spot and just hold it. So I'm happy to represent that for America. But now we got White Hat and Streamline, so like America's in this. Is Streamline from America?
Yeah, Streamline is definitely from America.
Then like my job is now to hold the middle tier for America. That's my new job. I'm just like I just got to nail those backup strats every time, and I'm there. But I'm looking forward to the playoffs for sure. I think that exiting group stages, we're going to start to see some really crazy races, especially with this best 2 of 3 format. I think it's going to be insane.
So last question, quick before we go, because we do need to get race 3 on the way between Cassio and Fuzz.
Yeah, for sure.
When is Ocarina of Time?
Ocarina of Time is all the time on my stream. My good friend The Cov, also my good friend at Chelney. So you can watch me play Ocarina of Time. I'm no better at that than I am at this. And arguably worse, actually. But I'm looking forward to this this race between Cassio and Fuzz. This is going to be a good game 3. So everybody please stick around and watch these two gods battle it out in game 3. That's so hype. And plus, both races have been super close, so I'm really looking forward to watching this game 3.
Yeah, adef, congrats on the win. Congrats on the 3-0 all today.
Thanks.
And we'll wait to see who you end up playing in the round of 16.
I'm excited, yeah. Oh, it's 16? That's right. Oh, man. Sweet 16, baby. All right, this is great. Okay, take it easy, guys, and good luck to Cassio and Fuzz, and thanks for watching, everybody.
GG, adef. So we will get this next race going very, very shortly.
I'm glad that adef is still around playing the game because I mean he was one of the players in the HGQ race with it 2015, so nearly 3 years ago. But
oh, that's awesome!
He still got it. Still got the skills.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't been a big part of the speedrunning community for more than about the last year and a half, and so I was unaware of that. But I knew that he had been on the leaderboards for quite a while. I just didn't know he'd been running it for 5 years now. That's crazy. When it looks like FuzzDistor has taken a lead, he is starting the Wily stages, as Cassio is still on the title screen.
Oh, a big lead. See if Cassio can catch up.
But more seriously, I do think we are going to start very, very soon. So give us a couple seconds and we will be rolling. Yeah, let's get those Pog Chimps out there in chat for both Cassio and Fuzz. So, Cool Kid, as a multiple Mega runner, Cassio is a very, very good Mega Man 3 runner. How do you think, even though there is no sliding in Mega Man 1, how do you think being a really good runner in one Mega Man translate to another? Because I know you're obviously great at Mega Man 1. You have a very good Mega Man 2 time, and you don't have a Mega Man 3 time to scoff at either. And so, how would you compare yourself to, or anyone who's running multiple Megas?
I think I think running multiple games is a great way to just improve. I mean, become better at games in general. I would say Mega Man 1 and 3 are pretty different when it comes to the movements, like and how the way Mega Man feels, but I still say Cassio being one of the very best at Mega Man 3. I'd say that certainly benefits him in this game, just with the overall platforming and movement. Even though the games aren't necessarily alike, it's just being really good at one game definitely. I think some of it transfers into other games.
Yeah, I would think Mega Man and 1 and 2 share a lot of physics, and so I feel like those two would be similar, but 3 through 6 may be a little different.
Yeah, but Cassio, see, his current PB is a 2055, so it's, I mean, he's definitely a very good runner in this.
And Cassio is about 5 seconds ahead or so going into the corridor. Fuzz had a little bit of difficulty on the cut corner jump, but other than that, they've been pretty even. However, Fuzz has to be careful. He has 4 health left, and so if he gets hit, he will die.
It looks like he has Cutman under control now. It's kind of neat. Oh, Cassio, however.
That was not the person I was expecting to die, to be honest, when we went into that fight looking at the health.
Yeah, I did not have my eyes on Cassio at all, and then all of a sudden he drops, and Cutman, very unfortunately, only had 1 health, so that is unfortunately a huge death, and it's gonna put FuzzDistor way in the lead early on.
Yeah, that is definitely a cause for the concerned Froge to come out.
But it's the first stage of many.
Yeah, we have seen some incredible like comebacks back and forth between these two. You know, I think we were talking a little bit about the match between Fatso and adef being very important. I believe this match is also very important for who might get second place in the group. I think Prizzy has beaten both of these people, but both of them have a chance to go on.
Here, oh yeah, Cassio and FuzzDistor have both played Prizzy and lost, so yeah, definitely who wins this game will kind of give them a great chance to advance.
Yeah, this is kind of the wild card group, though. There's only been 2 games out of the 6 that need to be played. Or actually, let me do some real math. I think there's actually... No, 6 sounds right. Out of the 6 games, there's only been 2 played. This is only the 3rd match because Princess Proto has not played any of her matches. And so, without knowing anything about how she's going to play, these two do play a very, very important role in the group finals.
Alright, big magnet beam screen. FuzzDistor had a pretty good grab, so he's still keeping a sizable lead on Cassio as he hits kind of the midway point of Elecman.
So, Cool Kid, let me ask you, like, I'm sure at one point in your Mega Man career, you would get into that ice or that magnet beam grab and have to kind of wiggle your way in. Were you ever frustrated by that? Because I find when I do that, I am so frustrated that I have to wiggle my way in.
Oh, wiggling for the magnet beam. You kind of don't get in.
Like when you just turn around. Yeah, you have to tiptoe all the way in.
Oh
no, Fuzz!
FuzzDistor did not have enough health at the end,
and that is honestly the absolute worst place he can do that, because he is going to go all the way back to before the magnet beam. If he got to the next screen, that was the checkpoint.
And wow, that is just very unfortunate, and Cassio now is in the lead. He has no health though, and he takes a death.
My God. But his death is way better. He's going to spawn immediately 1 screen below that.
Yeah, it's not costly at all, really, and he can attempt to climb again full health.
You know, I might readjust my thoughts. I still think the Wily 2 death, if you do it right before the checkpoint, is really bad. But that elect one is almost just as bad.
Yeah, it's looking like this is at least, say, 1 minute and 10 seconds on that one. Might be a little more. Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it is really rough.
Yeah, just like that, and well, elites will change, and we are, well, only about to head into the third stage of the game. Wow, plenty of the race left.
Yep, and Fuzz has plenty of health, so he's going to be able to deboost through a lot of this stuff here. He's obviously done this before if he knows exactly what he can do here. Oh, and Cassio is a few pixels too high for that zip here, so he's going to be swimming for a little bit. But gets through that very, very well. And yeah, Cassio was 1 pixel too low there for that ice pixel. Thought he had it, made it a long beam, and then realized he didn't. Oh, wow.
That
is not something you see every day. So they are even. They are dead even. This is... what a game 3.
Well, that's perfect. Here, let's go. This is insane. Cassio doing that 3 times, runs out of lives, game's over. Might almost be better, actually, because he was about to run out of beams, and if you don't know how to do Yoko blocks, you may be in for a rough time.
And Fuzz on my screen is definitely dropping a few frames. I'm not sure if you can see it. Cool. It looks like he... Oh no, he did not get the screen wrap. So he is stuck in the Yokus. Which... If I ever get to this point in a race, I probably lose because I don't really know how to get out of it. I've been lucky enough to hit that ice pixel every time. I would rather have 0 beams going across the gap. Oh, he does know what to do there though. That's nice. That's a good time save.
Yeah, he's got 2 beams. He'll have enough to get to the centerpiece here for the refill. Oh, sliding. Ouch. The ice physics.
Yeah, that is really tough. I hate getting hit around there.
And back to the Yoko blocks.
Oh, and that wasted beam is not good. And Cassio is through ice already.
Yeah, this is just I would say this is like just a really brutal part of the game in ice, especially with the depth. It's really hard to recover.
I mean, honestly, like at this point, like you just have to kind of grit it and just go with it and just be like, you know what, this is gonna hurt for a while, but we're gonna get through this. But he's gonna have to wait through this and hope the platforms are nice, and then hope that Cassio makes a mistake later.
Alright, he gets to the centerpiece and... Oh, he's on safe ground. Should be able to get through the rest of Iceman now.
But yeah, I think that might be, outside of maybe Wily 3 or 4, that might be the worst place to run out of a Magnet Beam in the game.
Oh yeah, I would agree.
Oh wow, his health is also very, very low. He can't take a hit from any of these penguins.
Yeah, and he has no lives. He has died twice, and I don't think he has picked up a 1-up since 1-ups are really rare in this game. But makes quick work of Iceman, and he is through. And
yes.
As Cassio is entering Fireman boss fight, Cassio is It's looking good. Even though he had a game over, he's been, I don't know, picked up his play and he's playing good now.
Yeah, I would say if we get to interview Cassio afterwards, I'm not sure if he'll have time, but I think he will say he played pretty poorly before that game over, but after he has played on point. And we kind of ignored him as Fuzz was going through that perilous journey through ice without Magnet, but Cassio has done really well in the last couple stages.
Yeah, this is a very interesting very interesting race too in that regard. Like, what does Cassio, is he updated to one may wonder, is he aware of how well FuzzDistor is doing, how far ahead he is? If not, having game over once, I mean, that can definitely put a lot of stress on you, and like you have to make up ground, catch up time.
Yeah, that's a very, very good question.
Yeah, FuzzDistor he doesn't have any extra life, so if he doesn't get it, he does not get the correct ladder.
Oh no, oh no.
That is a game over, unfortunately, at the end of Fireman stage.
So Cassio's lead is about 2 whole stages, and he gets the ladderless bomb set up incredibly well. So, Cool Kid, I feel like you might be one who's really, really qualified to talk about this, but can you talk about like the difference between a ladder setup and a non-ladderless, or a ladderless setup rather, and just like the amount of different preparation or practice that is needed to be able to figure that out? Because I know personally, I feel like that's a big change to go from a ladder setup to a ladderless setup.
Yeah, I think the biggest change, I mean, well, yeah, the ladderless. I say with the ladderless, I mean, if you disregard that it's more precise, I mean, harder setup to time, I would say kind of, if you're not consistent at it, it's kind of like uncertainty if you want to kind of get it or not. Like it might, I don't know how to describe it, but like if you're low on beams and you attempt the ladderless, you're not knowing if you're going to get it or not. That's like kind of feeling the pressure right there. Compared to the ladder setups are kind of, free, as you would call them. But it's...
Yep. No, I mean, it's difficult, though, because, like, you have to be really consistent, I think, for it to be worth you. Uh-oh. Cassio might have problems here. Okay, no, it was not the exact pixel he was transitioning there. He got hit by an axe right before he transitioned. And if you get hit on that last frame before that transition, you can fall straight into that pit below. Does get two corridor zips though. But no, I was just asking because I do think that like it's underestimated the difference in difficulty between the ladderless and the ladder setups. Like I find that the ladder setups are way easier than the ladderless setups. And it doesn't look as impressive on screen, but it really is if you run the game.
Yeah, I always think the ladder now, when I'm not really it's been a while since I did a ladder setup, I find it to be so hard and precise to kind of climb on the correct position, place the magnet beam, make it really frustrating.
Wait. So let me get this straight. You actually find just climbing up and down a ladder tougher than jumping and hitting B at the exact right frame to hit the exact right pixel to make a beam.
Yeah.
Okay, and those are the problems of your world record holder, people.
Oh, Cassie is doing a little back and forth. Unfortunately, does not get a sit, but oh, he is through. Fire pillar jumps. Oh no, FuzzDistor in the meantime, unfortunately, took a death. And Spikes have not been friendly to him in this race.
No, it's interesting because like his stream has been a little choppy, but it looked like Fuzz had that ladder list set up pretty well. I don't know what happened with it. Good 3-beam setup by Cassio there to get through the platform room. Although he is going to be pretty low here. He's down to 1 beam going to Wily 2, so he will have to pick up at least one of the refills.
Yeah, I think I was down to 1 beam last race as well, which kind of ended up with him being low on beams in Wily 3, so he had to do the walk of shame, no big sip. But he is, I mean, Cassio's got a pretty good lead here, so I think no matter what happens. Oh, tempting.
Whoa, that looked like the streamline.
He has gone for all the races. That was just 1 hit short from getting it, but still, if you get 6 hits, that is really good.
Yeah, a big time save. Yeah, definitely. No, that was really cool. So let me ask you. So there are 3 double small item pickups in the Wily stages. There's 1 in Wily 1, and then 2 in Wily 2 here. I was actually curious a little while ago, if you need to pick up one of them, like what would be the order for if you had to pick up 1 or 2 or 3 of them?
I would pick up the one, I think the ones in, actually don't really know, since for like actual runs, you don't really grab the ones in Wily 1. Well, it depends, but I think grabbing the ones in Wily 2 are better because that ladder climb is just really long. When you grab the ones in Wily 1, I think it just takes too long to climb the ladder.
I completely agree, and in fact, like I'm going to shout out Zoda in chat, who has been around, Soda Nor, as is known from Pepsi fame. I was talking with him about this, and he said, you should definitely grab the second set from Wily 2, because you actually have 1 less menu. Because if you grab it before cut, you go from Buster to Magnet to Buster. But if you grab it before Elec, you already have to switch to cut. And so you actually skip 1 item change or menu. And so you definitely want to grab the one before Elec if you only need to grab 1 of them. So that was a really good call out by Zoda.
Oh yeah, definitely. I did not. I did not consider that at all. Grab the final set.
So you aspiring Mega Man runners who are like me and can't do your items correctly, or your Magnet Beam correctly, always grab that second one if you have a choice. Fuzz is really struggling here, though. He had a really good beginning to the run, but he has just kind of had a lot of issues. As Cassio is almost 2 levels ahead now.
Cassio just chilling. He's not on the right position, so it's like,
He was trying to figure out what to do there.
That looks good, though.
Yeah, that was a really, really good hit. Like, I don't understand how you guys do that. I can't do that at all. It just looks so good when you can just jump up there and hit that pixel.
Yeah, that one's scary for sure. If you miss it, you have to do the walk of shame. That is, at least 20 seconds gone. Gets it, and he has 1 Magnet Beam to spare, so he will not have to remove the middle block in Wily 4. He has to remove the top one.
Which is funny because he actually threw away a block. He was very confident. He was very swaggy in his grabs, or his dupes rather. And it might come back to haunt. Okay, he does get through.
Right. They both beat a boss at the same time. FuzzDistor just now getting through Wily 1, Cassio entering Wily 4, final Wily. I don't know if there's anything that can stop him now. Well, the only thing that could and may stop him is a Shoop's lock, soft lock on the refight skip, but
Oh my
that is
God.
very likely to happen.
If he gets a tubes jail, a tubes lock, this would be a fitting night to an amazing day of races. Oh, really good second try there on that zip.
Ooh, he jumped too early.
It is a little tough to get that without a bomb being thrown. Oh, but that second try is really good.
Yeah, if you jump too early, like if you get the short hop and you jump too early, get too close to him, he will not throw a bomb, and him throwing a bomb and his bomb exploding is required for the skip to work.
Does that only happen if you hold left when you go through the teleporter, though?
That he does a short hop?
If he does a short hop, like I feel like if you don't press left when you go through the teleporter, he'll still throw a bomb before you can get to him.
Nah, I don't. Well, I don't know actually if you can get. I think you can get. Actually, that I don't know. I always hold left and teleport him.
Well,
again.
I assume you do, but that is Cassio is done with a 23:06, so Cassio is going to win the race 2 games to 1. So congrats to Cassio.
Oh, GG. That was. Well, heck, that was crazy. That was an insane race. Cassio dying in cut, dying the Elec climb, and then game overing in Iceman, but still finishes with 23:05 is, I would say, very good considering what went down in his run.
Yeah, this was an incredibly back and forth run. At least during the Robot Masters, it was incredibly close.
Yeah, FuzzDistor had some very, very, very unfortunate deaths himself. I mean, Iceman is a cruel one. You don't die and run out of beams. I would say it's the worst. Like, it's the worst place in the game to play without the magnet beam. That's why in the Buster only runs, people choose to go Iceman first because his stage is just awful. Just get out of the way first.
I mean, that makes sense. If it's going to be the toughest stage, especially that boss fight, Buster only, is incredible. You have to jump through all of his ice beams, like back and forth. It is really difficult.
Got tubes.
Hey, is this Cassio?
Yes.
Hey, congratulations, Cassio. I don't know if you're watching the stream, but we're watching Fuzz finish Wily 3 right now.
Yeah, I can see it.
How do you think the races went?
Really bad for me.
Oh, and as Fuzz does take a death in Wily 3, but unfortunately, he does have more lives left, so he can start right here. But he is not going to have any boulders or blocks for him to throw. Yeah, Cassio, so it went bad for you, but are you happy to be 1-1 at least?
Yeah, at least a win is a win, gotta say. It's better than losing, but I'm not really happy with my performance today.
And is that just, have you been playing a lot of Mega Man 3 lately, or like why do you think you didn't perform up to your standards today?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired, or I just suck. But
I doubt it's that you just suck.
On Monday or Tuesday, I don't remember, I did some attempts, and I was getting really good runs. Low 21s, some 20s. high 20s. Almost got a PB. So I don't know. Maybe it's just not my day playing this game. Also, there's Zoda, who was telling me to do all the crazy strats.
Yeah, I mean, you probably never want to listen to Zoda, but I feel like everyone should know that already. But maybe Fuzz, are you here too?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, Fuzz. We saw, unfortunately, Wily3 didn't go the best for that second game. But I mean, how do you feel how things went today? I feel like at least you've raced 2 races today now, one against Prizzy and one against Cassio, which unfortunately you're facing 2 giants of the Mega Man world. But it seemed like you seemed to play much better today than against your race with Prizzy.
Oh yeah, my first game was actually pretty solid. I don't know, it had a couple of big mistakes, but like if you don't count that, it was pretty solid. And the second one, I was like really amazed at how I wasn't paying attention to chat, and then I finished, and Cassio didn't finish, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Cassio, what?
You played really well. Like it seemed like have you played a lot of Mega Man 1 since you raced with Prizzy? Because it seemed like you've gotten quite a bit better.
I did. I haven't learned new strats, but I think I like learned the strats that I know. Like what's the word? I'm more consistent at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a word. But other than that, no. I actually had really bad luck in my Prizzy race against Prizzy. That was pretty bad.
That's great. So your guys' group is a little bit up in the air because Princess Proto hasn't played any of her races. Like Cassio is obviously in a good spot to move on. Cassio, do you have any idea? Do you feel comfortable racing Princess Proto? Do you know how that's going to work out? Because if you beat her, you will most likely be moving on.
I don't really know what her BB is, so I can't say if I'm comfortable or not. I'm gonna try to do the same thing. Like, gonna try to survive. That's all.
I hope that the Sweden gods don't give her the secret strats.
Survival is a good goal at this point in the tournament.
Yeah. Saves a lot of time.
Smack talk.
Yes, Cool Kid, do you have any questions for them at all?
I thought you had some great moves in the first race, FuzzDistor. We were impressed by double quarter sip in Iceman and Wily one sip. It looks like you have I don't know, you practiced for quite a bit. It looks like you I don't know. You have good moves.
Thanks, Cool. Yeah. That means a lot to me.
I don't have good moves.
You have good moves too. I mean, if you beat someone, I mean, you won the race. You beat someone who had good moves, I would say. I don't know, but we were very impressed with your Yellow Devil kills. I mean, you got it in the first race. You got it all 7 hits.
Oh yeah, that was my only good thing in all the races. This way.
Nah, but it got crazy in the last race. It was with the early game deaths, it was really something to just watch and commentate. It was crazy.
I remember that race.
Yeah, I saw Iceman went really bad for Fuzz.
Oh yeah, no, everything went wrong in that race. I don't even want to remember any of it.
I died in the black ladder.
I remember Fireman. I was like, okay, this this was bad enough. I'm going to start fresh with Fireman, and then it sub-pixeled me in the fire skip.
Yeah, and since you had died twice, you had no lives, and your game over. That was very unfortunate.
Dang, dude, that's so sad.
Yeah, but good race, Cassio. It was nice racing you.
Yeah, thanks for the race too. The first
Go
race was
America.
really, really close. It was so fun. I think we were doing the Wily 4 zip at the same time.
Yeah,
Wow.
you were incredibly close for a lot of the beginning portions of the races. It was pretty crazy. We had an incredible day of races. But Cassio, Fuzz, do you wanna say anything to your fans, to anyone out there?
Don't have any words to say. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to say thank you guys. Like, you guys had an amazing race. Also, GG to adef and Fatso. You guys are both amazing players as well. Thank you to Feasel and Mythical, and I believe Epibliticos was adminning this game. So thank you, and thank you to the rest of the Speed Gaming admin staff. I do think we are going to have or it might be going on right now on Speed Gaming 2, the Link to the Past daily race. But we are done with Mega Man for the day. We will have a lot of races tomorrow, and they are across the entire day. It does look like it says Mr. Cab and Corvus are tomorrow at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Eastern. I think that's going to be Saturday. I think that was changed.
Yeah, exactly. That will be on Saturday.
Okay, but we do have races at 8:30 Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. Eastern. Not sure of where all of those are going to be, but they will be on one of the Speed Gaming channels. So make sure you guys tune in. And for Cassio, Fuzz, and Fatso and adef, I am Cove, and thank you so much, Cool Kid, for joining me. It was a pleasure having the commentary with you.
Thank you. It was really fun to. I had a really good time too as well, Cove. I'm glad we worked out the technical difficulties. We had a little, quite the. It was very hectic at the start, just trying to figure out the technical stuff. But I'm really glad we got it going, and I had a great time. The races were really good too. So, yeah, that was really good. Thank you.
Yes, so have a great night, everyone. And once again, congrats, Cassio and Fuzz. You guys played great tonight. Have a great night, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow.
Good night, guys.
Good night.